So in the first chapter, we were discussing these networking devices, okay, which will help us how to, connect someone, how to connect some devices, some computers, right? So in the same series, we have gateway. Gateway is nothing but just like a network point that will act as an entrance to another network using different protocols, thereby giving us freedom and convenience to enjoy online activities. Okay, so basically, it will be like, let me give you a real life example for the same. Like, we are having main gate of our home, okay, main door of our house. So that house is the on that of our house is the only place from where the data, supposedly we are the data, the participants or the owner of that house, okay, those who are living there, we can go out, we can permit the people in, but from where they will come in, they have to come in from our main room only, right? So that means gateway in the networks is also the same. It will be a main channel from which we are going to access internet. See children, whenever we are talking that we are accessing internet, that time it means that we are sending some kind of request of a page. That request is processed by some server. Suppose you are opening Google, or suppose you are opening Gmail. So you will be having a client browser. From your browser only, you will be initiating the process of opening Gmail. Your request will be sent to a server, nearest Gmail server, and that server will help you out. That server is going to show you those pages. Okay, so that means it is the purpose of your gateway only. Gateway need not to be your physical device only. Okay, so gateways can be pre-installed, like your, it can be installed in your computer, or it can be, gateways can be installed within your other devices also. Okay, like routers. Okay, routers as well as your repeaters, these can be one. Okay, beta. So that means that one device can, rather than keeping many devices, what you can do, you can opt for those devices which are a combination of more than one or two devices. Okay, so now what are the benefits of using these gateways? It will help us in sending emails, browsing web pages, buying things online, etc. Okay, and it is known as packet converter also. Packet converter means that whatever packet is generated from our own network, that will be sent to another network with the help of gateway only. That will be converted, the destination address will be written, everything will be done in the gateway only. Okay, so always, if, whenever you are writing, whenever you are reading this topic, always imagine your house main door like a gateway. So anyone can enter or exit from that place only, and that is the only place which will let you go out and enjoy the other activity. All right. Next is bit of bridge. As the name is telling us, bridge will be something that is going to bridge the gap. Gap means if two things are separately, these are separate, there is no connection in between them. So bridge is going to connect both of them, and bridge will help you to, move data from one place to another. Okay, so it is also a kind of repeater. Why? Because what was the purpose of repeater? As I told you, I gave you example of floors only of CCWS. Okay, supposedly you have to send the network, like you have to send some message, or you have to use a signal from your first floor to seventh floor, but you know that the signal strength loses after third floor. So what you will do at third floor only, you will put a repeater that is going to regenerate the signals to the next floors. Okay, and if you require it again, then again after two floors you can put that repeater. Okay, so now rather than using the repeater alone, you can use the bridge. Okay, let me tell you that what the difference between your hub and switch was there. No, that hub hub was not an intelligent device. That means hub was not saving the addresses of different computers. Okay, if one message was coming, that is going to give it to everyone. But in the on the other hand, switch was doing what, beta? If a message is for only one computer, then switch will send it to that computer only, and it will not share it with other computers. So same is the difference between repeater and a bridge. Now repeater is going to repeat the signal. Whatever is coming, it will repeat and it will forward. Okay. Now bridge will do what? Supposedly there are two local area networks on third floor. अब repeater क्या करेगा बेटा? That repeater is going to send the same signal to both the local area networks. Now bridge will do what? If a signal is there only for local area network 2, then the bridge is going to regenerate the signal for that local area network only, but not for local area network 1. Let us read from the book. A bridge is a repeater with an add-on functionality of filtering the content by reading the addresses. That means that we are going to now bifurcate, okay, which command or which network is for which local area network. Okay, so the same case of hub and switch we have in our repeater and bridge. So it also prevents unnecessary traffic from entering the network and reduces the congestion. That means your network should be used by you only or with whom you want to share it, but not anyone else. Supposedly there are two local area networks, but I want to give my permission or my access, my network's access to LAN 1 only. So LAN 2 will never get if I'm using bridge. But if I'm using repeater, both of them can share. Okay, so these were all your network devices. All right, when I was explaining your gateway and bridge, I have already explained again these hub, switch, repeaters, everything. Okay, children. Next is beta networking terminology. That means few terms are there which are frequently used in our networks. So we are going to understand what do they mean. First is internet. As I told in the starting that internet is something that is a millions of computers are connected together and they are spread in whole world. Okay, and it is a global wide area network that connects computer systems across the world. Okay, now what is intranet? Intranet is something that is between, it refers to a network within an organization. Okay, so if we have a computer network, see, local area network, these are the types of networks beta. Okay, but when I'm saying internet is also WAN, wide area network, right? But why I'm saying internet? Because it has a globe wide, it can be used, right? So intranet is anything which is used within your uh, any organization, any building, any company. Okay, so like we have difference between intra school and inter school competitions, right? Same is the word here also beta. Internet is for when it is related to everyone, intranet when it is there within us. Okay, so after internet and intranet we have bandwidth. So what is bandwidth? See children, when we were discussing the wired cables, so that time I told you there are two types of coaxial, baseband and broadband. Okay, so what is this bandwidth? What is band? So basically band is something like a track. In our sports complexes we have tracks, right? Imagine bands like that only. So bandwidth is basically the amount of data that can be transmitted in fixed amount of time from that particular channel. Okay, now baseband and broadband, I also told you that baseband is like where you can transmit only one signal at a time. Broadband means multiple signals can travel. So band is basically that track. Okay, now it depends on its thickness, how much data it can be transferred, and how much data. The unit to measure it is bandwidth. Okay, so bandwidth, baseband, broadband, these are basically related to your band only, and band you can relate it with the tracks. Okay, so bandwidth is measured generally in bps, bits per second, or bytes per second. It can be mbps, kbps, gbps, tbps. Okay, so all these are known as your bandwidth. Now next we have beta ISP, very important term, internet service provider. Okay, so these are those organizations that are going to provide us internet connection. Okay, the facility is provided to the customers in exchange for a fee. Like right now like I am using Airtel right now. Okay, you must be using Jio, you must be using BSNL, Reliance, okay, Reliance Jio. Okay, you must be using any kind of ISP. So these are basically, they will give you so many options to choose from all these net data packs, and then they will give you internet and will charge you some kind of fee. So these companies are known as internet service providers, and the short form will be ISP. Next is bit of website. Website is basically collection of similar web pages. Why this similar word is important? Because if you will not use this word, that means any web page can be collected and then it will be known as website. No, a website will always contain related web pages, or it can contain images, videos, and other digital media also in those pages. A website is identified by a same domain name which the address of the website. These pages are written in HTML and can be accessed via internet. Okay, so now it can be managed by any particular individual. Okay, like we have website developers, company, or an organization. Like for CCWS also we have a website. Okay, for Cambridge Court we have website, right beta? So website is a collection of related web pages containing all these multimedia objects, and it can be individual, it can be managed by individual, company, or organization. All right, next is web portal. Now, there is not such big difference between your website and web portal. The only difference is your web portal is going to give you so many different services at one place. Like suppose if you are going to a mall, okay. Now imagine website like a garment store somewhere in nearby your place, a very good garment store where you are going to get garments only, whether it is of men, women, children, all right, all these things will be there. Now imagine web portal as your shopping mall where you are going to get cosmetics, where you are going to get groceries, uh, apparels, and then home appliances also. Okay, then toys also you can get. So everything you are going to get there in mall. Okay, so the same is the difference between your website and web portal. Like web portal will give you all the services at one place. Now let me give you example to make it more clear. Google. Beta, when you are opening Google, it is going to give us so many options. Number one, it will give us direct access to YouTube. Number two, Gmail. Number three, Google Maps. Number four, Google Classroom. Number five, endless, right? So we have such a nice variety of all these platforms that are related to one such thing. All right, Google has its search engine also, Google has its own classroom also, Google is having maps also. Everything is there, images, videos, news. Okay, everything can be shared and everything can be retrieved using this. So Google is an example of your web portal. Okay, Yahoo. If you are using Yahoo, then you must be having this idea that Yahoo will also give you. And beta Google gives us news stories also, okay, related to our interests. Then beta we have MSN also. MSN is also a browser which will give you all these facilities. So basically, these are the advanced form of website. Okay, always remember that a particular apparel store and as compared to a shopping mall. So that is this website and web portal. Okay. Now here see in this figure 1.20 beta on page number 13 in your book, please look. So desktop web device, all these are connected to this portal. Now this portal is going to give us so many ready to use content. Okay. So these are your web portals. Next is beta web page. Web page is a standalone page written in HTML. So let me give you a hierarchy. Okay. So number one, we have we used to write on pages. That is the document that is written. That is hard copy. Okay. If that hard copy is present in your computer, maybe I have scanned it, maybe I have taken photograph and then I have sent it through USB or Bluetooth to my computer, then it will be known as digital document. A simple document that was lying in my hand once I have inserted that document into my system. How? maybe by scanning, maybe by sending it through mail from my phone. I have clicked the photograph, I have sent the mail, and then I have opened my mail in my laptop, and then I have downloaded and I'm using it. So if that same content is lying in my system, that is known as a digital document. And when I am clicking the photograph in my mobile phone also, beta, that photograph will be known as a digital document, right? Now this is known as digital document. Now if the same document is there on internet, anywhere, maybe in your email, maybe you have sent via email, anywhere, somewhere where internet is involved in that particular document, it will become a web page. Easy. So web pages are written in HTML and are stored on a web server. It is a digital page which may contain, okay, it is a digital page only, but lying on internet, all right, it can contain anything like any multimedia, images, table, anything. Each web page is identified by a unique mail address known as URL. Okay, that means Uniform Resource Location Locator. Okay, so these web pages, like when you open a website, you might have noticed when you are going here to there, like you are clicking on this section, then that section, you will notice a little change in the address bar of your browser window. So that is the particular change in the URL with respect to the change in the web page. Although the similar web pages, when are contained together, are known as websites. Next is with a home page. Home page is nothing but the main page of your website, where your whole about, the main menu, the main sitemap, everything will be there only. Okay, it is the first page of your website. Okay, now what is this link? Link is basically a line or a channel that connects two devices. For example, if I'm using Wi-Fi, or if I'm using the hotspot of some other person, then there is a link between both of us. Now this link can be named as link, channel, connection, anything. All right. Next is with a hyperlink. Hyperlink is basically, see, when I'm saying hyper means it will be something more than link, right? So that means it will not only provide the linking facility, but it will also give us some kind of extra information, or it may take us from one place to another itself when we click on it. Like whenever you are studying on Wikipedia or anywhere in the online resources, then that time you might have seen some blue colored highlighted words. That time, these are known as hyperlinks. When you will hover your mouse, it will show you that this is connected to some other web page. When you will click on that, you will be navigated to that web page, and there you can find the extra information of that particular word. So that is known as your hyperlink. Now hyperlinks can be your images, text, okay, video, right? Next is beta your text, hypertext. So hyperlink is basically, it can be image, audio, video, graphic, anything. But hypertext will be text only. Okay, so hypertext is basically the part of your hyperlinks. Now let us move to the next page, that is your page number 14 beta. Okay, so next we have hypermedia. So whenever we are saying that some kind of media is used, like text, text is hypertext only, graphic, sound, videos, these will be known as hypermedia. So basically hyperlink is having two subparts, hypertext and hypermedia. Okay, and the collection of both of these, hypertext and hypermedia, is known as hyperlink. Next is URL. URL is the actual address of a web page or a website. Okay, for example, if you are writing http colon forward slash www.wikipedia.com, so this is the URL, right? And when I'm talking about URL, I want you all to write the HTTP, that is the protocol. Okay, next is beta IP addresses. IP address is basically, see, let me tell you one thumb rule here. Every device, no matter if it is your computer, if it is your laptop, if it is your tablet, mobile phone, anything, anytime, whenever your gadget, I'll use this term gadget because it will cover a whole spectrum of devices. So whenever any gadget is linked to internet, is attached with internet, that time automatically your IP addresses are generated. Okay. For example, like whenever you are searching someone, some cybercrime has happened and we are searching for the person. Okay. So these things, these every time we are in this virtual world, there is an IP address, that is internet protocol address, that will be by default activated. You don't have to, use anything, you don't have to write it, but it will be by default activated. Okay. And then it is a 32-bit numeric address. Now it can be 64-bit also, but you don't have to learn anything except this. So it is a 32-bit numeric address containing set of four numbers. These four numbers are written with the help of periods. That means like small full stops. So any number between 0 to 255, that means 256 is its length. Okay. And any number can be your IP address. For example, 0.0.0.0. Yes, this is also your IP address. Like Google itself is having at least more than 2 lakhs or 2.5 lakhs IP addresses because of their servers. Okay. And one of the famous IP address of your Google is 4.4.4.4. Okay. So any IP address, and supposedly I'm asking you that identify whether it is IP valid IP address or not. And the IP address is 99 dot triple nine dot 4 times 9 dot 5 times 9. No, it is not, because the value should be equals to or less than 255. All right. Now, next is beta domain name system. Domain name system is where we are going to write the domain names. Okay. Domain name, how that like for example, beta, all right. So children, I'm just pausing this here. All right, we'll resume to these topics. I want to show you something. Just wait. I'll share that screen with you now. Okay. So now, as you can see here, children, now as you can see here, I have opened the uh, CMD or the run command of my computer. Okay. Now it is my HP laptop and I want to know my IP address. So I'm telling you how to know your IP address. I'll be writing IP config, IP config. As simple as that. You can also try this in your laptops or computers. Okay. You have to open run command. You have to just write run in the start menu, and then you have to click on CMD option, and then this black screen will appear where you have to write IP config. When you will press enter, this command will be executed. Okay. And then you will get like here, see, this is IPv4 address, this is my address, and this is my IP address right now with what I'm using this internet. Okay. So that means, beta, see, I'm telling you that every system whichever is connected to computer with internet will have this IP address. You can check if you are having two laptops, or you can ask your friends what is your IP address. Then you will come to know that okay, these IP addresses are unique, always unique. That is why when it became internet was spread everywhere, these IP addresses fall short. So we came up with IPv6 also. Okay, but this we are not going to go much in detail here. You just have to understand that this is my IPv4 version 4 address. Okay, or IP address, simple IP address. This is my IP address written over here, 192.168.43.14. As simple as that. Now I'll close this. Let us resume to our chapter only. Please try this. All right. So I was discussing your domain name system. Beta, these are the domain names like uh, .edu, .in, .com. Okay, all these are known as your domain name systems. Okay, these are basically domain. Okay, and these a system which is going to give them these domain names is known as your DNS. All right. So the domain name system is the system in which domain names are translated into internet protocol addresses. Okay, that means if I'm writing www.google.com, so computer will not understand it like this. Computer will understand it with its IP address, and these IP addresses will be converted with the help of domain name system only. Now let us understand what are protocols. Which are protocols are basically the set of rules that will govern the communication between two parties. Okay, now this communication can be your sending or accessing, sending email, accessing internet, anything. Okay, so first protocol is beta TCP and IP. Okay, so TCP is transmission control protocol, and this is basically a suite. Suite means it contains a variety of different protocols that will help us in using internet. Okay, now TCP or transfer control protocol or transmission control protocol is used for reliable and foolproof data transmission over the network. All right, and now IP. IP provides a sequence number to each packet so that they are in their right order when they arrive on their destination. Okay, so TCP will transfer the data, IP will give the sequencing. All right, next is hypertext transfer protocol. That means the main protocol of your internet is HTTP only. Now let us understand its functioning with the help of this figure 1.23. Everyone look into your books beta. Please reduce your screen time. I'm on page number 15, figure 1.23. There is this HTTP client. Now, client can be a computer, client can be the web browser or the user also. There will be a HTTP request and the server is going to request or this is going to answer that request. Okay, so suppose if you want to open your Gmail, so you have initiated an HTTP message, and then the server is going to open your Gmail account for you in order to your request, right? So this is the working of your HTTP. All right, file transfer protocol, that means your FTP. All right, after hypertext transfer protocol we are going to understand FTP beta. FTP is basically a standard internet protocol. It is one of the simplest and easiest way to transfer the files between two or more computers using internet. All right, now here also we have this. There is this FTP client, there is this FTP server. Okay, and there is internet connection and data can be shared from one to another. All right, now here beta that I have mentioned on my book also, it will not be FTP software, it will be FTP server. Okay, so this is known as your FTP protocol. Next is SMTP and IMAP and POP. These two protocols I will be explaining together. SMTP is basic. These both are related to email. Okay. Now, if I ask you name any two protocols which are used for accessing internet or transferring files using internet, so that will be your FTP and HTTP, where we are saying transmission protocol or transfer protocol. And if I ask you that which protocol will be used for sending the emails, so that will be simple mail transfer protocol, when we are saying we are transferring the mails. Okay, so now SMTP will work everywhere, like on the sender side also and on the server also, because it is going to send the email between two or more servers. Okay, so one server will act as a client and one server will act as a server only, because servers can also exchange the mails between them. Okay, Next is IMAP and POP. These two protocols are used to uh, access or retrieve the emails that you have received. Okay, so IMAP is Internet Message Access Protocol. POP is with a post office protocol. And these two are the most popular internet standard protocols for retrieving emails in today's world, where every single email client support every client, every computer will support these two. Okay, and the utility of IMAP and POP varies with their usage in different environments. All right. So basically, SMTP and SMTP is used for transferring. Okay, and then for receiving you will be using IMAP and PO. All right, and you have to read all these key points on the page number 17 beta. This will clear everything, right? And this comes to end of your chapter 1.